Coming up on Hoosier Sports Night, women's soccer continues their undefeated run.
And football hangs tight in its opening loss. This is Hoosier Sports Night. Hello and welcome to Hoosier Sports Night. I'm Griffin Healy.
And I'm Ashley Voss. Griffin, I am so hyped to be back in the studio.
Oh, believe me, it's been a pleasure to work with you last year and the semester, and I cannot wait to kick off this year on the right foot. Speaking of kickoffs, the IU women's soccer team secured their 4th victory of the season against the Northern Illinois Huskies on Sunday night. Our Josie Broyles has more.
The IU women's soccer team just accomplished their 6th victory of the season against the Northern Illinois Huskies here at Bill Armstrong Stadium.
Credit to our team. They didn't play on Thursday, which I was a little surprised by and a little annoyed by. Obviously, coming back from Tennessee with a 7-hour bus trip after that game to then play a team that's fresh, it was a little bit. I was nervous for it just because of the legs. But I think the depth of our team and the rotations, I think, worked out in our favor. So.
The Hoosiers have improved immensely since last year, with having 3 wins on the board to now having 4 in only the first month of the season.
Obviously, last year we only had 3 if we count the Trine win from last year. So we're at 4 proper Division I wins now, and we can only go up. So happy with the start of the season.
Both goals in Sunday's game were scored by grad student Paige Webber.
I think we got a grip of the game, created a ton of chances. Obviously, 2 good goals by Paige.
The team has not only been getting more balls in the back of the net, but have improved their confidence as well.
I think our team as a whole is very confident because we were able to score goals. Like last year, we only scored 11 total goals and only 6 Division I goals, and just I myself almost have surpassed that. So
this year, the team has stayed aggressive offensively while still being able to improve their skills defensively.
I think it's how we defend. Last year we sat back a lot, so when we won the ball, we had no one high, and it was hard to get, we would get the ball at the 50 and have to dribble 50 yards and score. Well, now we keep 2 high at least, so when we win the ball, we're there for the counter. And we're just a lot less hesitant to play it in behind this year.
The Hoosiers will be back this Thursday in Bloomington at 7 p.m. to take on the Louisville Cardinals. From Bill Armstrong Stadium, I'm Josie Broyles, IUSTV Sports.
The Hoosiers will be back this Thursday to take on the Louisville Cardinals at Bill Armstrong Stadium, looking to stay undefeated.
The Indiana men's soccer team got back on track Monday night with a win over Seton Hall. Our Josh Pose has more.
After being upset by the Washington Huskies on Friday night, Indiana bounced back with a 1-0 victory over Seton Hall here at Bill Armstrong Stadium. After squandering multiple chances throughout the match, Indiana finally got on the board in the 63rd minute thanks to junior Sam Sarver finding his way through the defense and finding the back of the net. After finding the back of the net, Sarver found his way over to celebrate with the Hoosier Army, a crew he gives a lot of credit to for bringing the energy each night.
Motivation when you make a good tackle or something, they all cheer. It just makes you feel good. So yeah, that's why when I score, I run to them, show them I appreciate them for coming out because they take time out.
He likes to celebrate. I love his passion. He gets the guys. He loves the crowd. That was one of the things when he came here on a visit. I think he said, "Where do we celebrate?" So all these fans are around these spots. He's okay. Yeah, I love his passion. So I didn't see that.
Indiana's back line, led by Joey Mayer and Hugo Bacharach, was stellar throughout the match to keep the Pirates off the board, securing the 1-0 victory.
The Hoosiers have a showdown in the Sunshine State as they take on the University of South Florida in Tampa on Friday night. For IUSTV Sports, I'm Josh Pose.
The Hoosiers head down to the University of South Florida for a matchup in Tampa this Friday. Follow along with beat reporters Kara Adams, Josh Pose, and Griffin Healy.
The Hoosiers traveled to the West Coast last weekend for the Long Beach Invitational. After a 3-0 start this season, Indiana was tested with much stiffer competition. The games began Thursday night with a tough loss 3-1 against Long Beach State. The senior middle blocker Savannah Colheed led the way with a career-high 13 kills, but the Hoosiers came up short on defense. On to Friday, Indiana produced a dominating first set 25-18, but couldn't maintain the momentum as they fell 3-1 to future Big Ten opponent UCLA. Cameron Hayworth finished one dig shy of a double-double, but the Bruins went the distance with powerful play in the late sets. Wrapping up the weekend, Washington swept the Hoosiers in 3 straight sets. Although they had an 0-3 weekend, the team showed promise as they reached 21 points in 8 of the 9 set losses. The IU will travel to Tennessee this weekend to take on Austin Peay, Lindenwood, and Valpo.
Coming up after the break, we crown this week's Hoosier Highlight Athlete of the Week.
And field hockey hit the road again, looking for their first win of the season. This is Hoosier Sports Night.
Welcome back to Hoosier Sports Night.
Joining us in studio for this week's Hoosier Highlight is IUSTV sports reporter Victoria Rhemrev. Victoria?
Thanks, Griffin. Indiana's women's soccer team started off their fall season blazing. After dominating NIU and Tennessee, our Hoosier Highlight of the Week is forward Paige Webber. The Indiana grad student scored Hoosier's first goal against Tennessee at the Regal Stadium last Thursday. Webber dribbled all the way down just inside the 18-yard box and found the perfect angle, sending it into the right side of the net. Indiana also defeated Northern Illinois this past Sunday. Webber continued to impress by netting 2 goals throughout the course of the game. She is currently at 5 goals this season, making that 11 goals in her career as a Hoosier. Webber and her teammates will continue their streak as they welcome Louisville to the Bill Armstrong Stadium on Thursday. That's it for your Hoosier Highlight of the Week. I'm Victoria Rhemrev. Back to you at the desk.
On Saturday, Indiana football fell 23-3 to the Ohio State Buckeyes in their season opener at home. Gwen Parks has more.
Disappointed in the loss. Our kids fought hard, played hard. Did have a couple guys cramping up with the heat, but our defense played tough. Showed some things there we got to build off of, just not good enough. And scoring touchdowns, obviously, not acceptable. And then too many penalties. You play the game, you learn from week 1, and you move on to week 2.
The Indiana Hoosiers fell 23-3 to the Ohio State Buckeyes on Saturday in their season opener. Indiana faced a less than imposing number 3 Ohio State team, but the Hoosiers' defense impressed despite the loss. Especially in key red zone situations. Players like Aaron Casey, Jacob Magnum-Farr, Andre Carter all had key moments. And in the secondary, players like Kobe Minor, Philip Dunham, Lewis Moore, and Nick Toomer did a solid job against Ohio State's passing attack, holding Ohio State to 380 total yards, even grabbing an interception. They made it tough for Ohio State's quarterback, Kyle McCord, who was making his college debut, only allowing him to complete 20 out of 33 passes. Plus, they held 2 of the nation's top receivers, Marvin Harrison Jr. and Emeka Mbuka, to just a combined 5 catches for 34 yards. Indiana's defense put up a good effort when limiting the Buckeyes from finding the end zone, forcing them to settle for field goals. However, the Buckeyes couldn't manage to pull away until the Hoosiers' defense wore down. This marked the first time the Hoosiers held Ohio State to below 40 points since 2016. All in all, the Hoosiers' defensive effort was solid on Saturday. It should give Indiana fans some hope for the season, but that's only if the offense can match it. The quarterback situation with Brendan Sorsby and Taven Jackson alternating throughout the game raised some questions about the Hoosiers' offensive strategy. Despite an upgraded offensive line, Indiana struggled to gain traction against Ohio State's tough defense. The Hoosiers only notching a field goal wasn't unexpected. Unfortunately for Indiana, opening the season against one of the top defenses in the nation with 2 inexperienced quarterbacks is like trying to score a touchdown against a steel wall. However, if the offense can solve the quarterback issues and the defense maintains its strong performance, Indiana might just have a promising season ahead. The Hoosiers next take on Indiana State Friday night right here in Memorial Stadium. For IUSTV Sports, I'm Gwen Parks.
The field hockey team traveled to Oxford, Ohio this weekend to take on St. Francis and Miami of Ohio. The Hoosiers picked up their first win of the season against St. Francis University. Megan Dillon, Sarah Charlie, and Inez Garcia Prado each scored a goal, which led to the final score of 3-1. Leading into Monday, the team continued their winning streak by shutting out Miami University 2-0. The Hoosiers goalie Shannon McNally had her season high of 5 saves. This coming weekend, the team will be traveling to Athens, Ohio to face Ohio University on Sunday at noon.
Indiana cross country brought home leading scores in their first inaugural meet, the Red Hawk Rumble, hosted by Miami of Ohio. Abe Ekman finished in 3rd place in the men's 6K with a time of 18 minutes and 12 seconds. Skylar Stidham followed him up in 5th place with 3 other Indiana top 10 finishes behind him. Every Hoosier finished in under 20 minutes. In the women's 5K, Phoebe Bates took home 1st place, achieving her personal best. Indiana took up 4 out of the 5 top 5 places, with Caitlin Winton behind Bates. Out of the 10 Hoosiers who competed, 6 achieved their personal bests. Indiana will travel to Terre Haute to compete in the John McNichols Invitational on September 16th, hosted by Indiana State.
Joining us now to preview the weekend in Hoosier sports is Zeke Shapiro. Zeke?
Thanks, Ashley. It'll be another full slate of games this weekend for the Hoosiers. On Friday, the Indiana men's soccer team travels south to Tampa to take on the University of South Florida Bulls. Also on Friday, a rare Friday night football game at Memorial Stadium. The Hoosiers take on in-state opponent Indiana State under the lights. On Saturday, the volleyball team closes out their 3rd and final match at the Stashville Invitational in Clarksville, Tennessee. And to close out the weekend, women's soccer will look to stay undefeated when they take on the Hanover Panthers at Bill Armstrong Stadium. That's all for this weekend of IU Sports. Back to you at the desk.
And that's all for our show this week. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at IUSTV Sports to keep up with all the latest in IU athletics. For our production crew behind us, I'm Griffin Healy.
And I'm Ashley Voss. We'll see you next week.